Hi guys, Joe Heck here. Thanks for coming over looking at the channel. This should be a quick video today. A little different. Looking down at a Black & Decker air station. Came out of somebody's estate. I had fixed it once and it's been sitting out in a canopy area. It's outdoors but protected. And lo and behold, it doesn't work again. So today is a tear down to see if we can get it running again. It's probably not worth it for the time I put into it, but it'll be, hopefully it'll be entertaining, and it makes my mind work, keeps my mind active. So that's what we're up to. So hang on. All right, we're going to try to do this without bouncing the camera around too much or talking too quietly. And I don't know why my table is wobbly. It shouldn't be. My floor is supposed to be level, but apparently it's not. So the first thing is to open it up. I suppose the first thing is to plug it back in and see if it really is dead. Maybe I'll take out one screw and try that. We need power. Well, that's not a good sign. I don't get a green light from the power. What else can I plug in to try? Oh dear. Oh, well, that's stupid of me. I went and got my grinder, and I really only had a... Okay, it does work. But the compressor does not work. So, we go from there. One screw is out. And we're going to take these 4 screws off the heat sink, which I believe is the top of the compressor. And see what happens. Probably can't just take this off, have to dump the screws out, I think. But we'll see. Well, apparently there's not much to it. Got a little reed valve in the top, connected directly to the motor, but the motor does not work and it's free enough that looks like that's the piston, which I probably should not have pulled that off. Probably going to be a pain to put back on. And it looks like we've had wasps in here or something. I feel a bunch of mud. I don't know if those are what I've seen other people refer to as mud daubers. Take just a little pick, try to get some of the dirt out. You got a screwdriver in there. I'm hoping they're about the same as these screws here. Oh, here we go. Not out yet. Oh. Let's get those screws out. So I can clean the heads. Dead spider. Oh, well. Okay, this is probably going to be an easy one. I spent all kinds of time looking for an on-off switch and could not find it. Well, guess what? There it is right there. So I guess now it's see if the switch works. These are just in the bottom slot. They're additional accessories. Now I don't really want to start this up without putting it back together. So this here, just the piston, I haven't quite figured out how it works yet. When it's compressing, I guess it has to go back in a certain position. That's what the notch is for. Alright, we're making progress. So that notch has to go in this notch here. So now I've needlessly taken this apart. But what's interesting is I would have expected two valves. And this is the hose, gets pressurized, and if this goes on like that, goes like this, and the reed valve, this little reed valve right here, oh, all right, never mind. So I guess this is a one-way, one-valve job. When it there might be a second valve in here. I'd have to check. But apparently when this strokes down, the air comes in on top of the piston. No, this doesn't move. This moves. When this strokes down, it's got to suck air from someplace. Through this part, maybe? I'm looking to see if this is... No, that's metal. So it's got me curious here. It's hard drawing down, but it... Well, I would expect another valve in this, but I don't see it. It just isn't making sense to me. This certainly sits on the top here. So we'll try. We'll put it back together and see if it pumps air, without totally understanding where the two valves are. Typically you have a reed valve on the inlet and on the outlet, and it would flow from one end to the other, but I only see one, and it looks like it's on the outlet. This big thing here just looks like a plug, so I don't know. I'm at a loss here, so I have to get all this back together. And of course, the valve tilts. Oh, and I'm wondering, see on the downhill, it's fairly flat, and then it tilts going up. Ooh, I'll bet I got this on wrong. So, well, I'm doing something wrong here, that's for sure. It has to do with this rocking motion, but that's uniform. It shouldn't matter which way it goes, but it sure does matter that on one of the strokes it's tilted to the side so it can suck air in and then close and push it up. So that's what it does. It looks like it over here is way off to the side. They're both, this is not as far off as the other side. So this center is offset so that it tilts the piston more. So that's kind of interesting. But that just seems wrong. Oh, I see. And this guy, I was wondering what this hole is for. That's to feed this pressure gauge. Alright. So, well, it's got me baffled, I can tell you that. All I can do is put it back together. I mean, we have fixed parameters here. We can't do much with it. Well, that's how it's supposed to fit. So let's see what happens. Boy, I wish I'd seen that on-off switch before I took it all apart. And if that's the case, I guess this should be a how-to, or how I did it. It's not a how-to, on how not to troubleshoot an air compressor, the tire inflator. Get those all tight. That piston can only go in one way because of the bulge on the other side. That seems to be functional. That's on. That's off. I'm going to use the switch on my outlet strip. Well, I still get nothing. Let's try the other way. Okay. Well, it pumps air. I swear it's backwards, but it pumps air. Turns out there's two tabs here. Oh, and that tab is partially broken. Yeah. You have no choice but to put the top on afterwards. Alright, so be it. Oh, and yes, I probably could be using a cordless drill to take these out, but I don't know. I lived so many years with manual tools that I just never think of it until it's too late, I guess. All right, we're getting there. Clean out a little more in the screws that put mud in them. Maybe I'm going to put some tape down here or paint to show where that switch is. I mean, that's just impossible to see. Well, now let's see how this goes. Gasket's still in. I think it's in the right spot because it feels like the screws are exactly the right length and they bottom out at a certain spot. All right, well, let's see. Well, it's kind of hard to hold, but it does go up, so that's a good thing. So I guess this is going to be a short video about how to repair something that's not broken. I don't know what else to say. Hope you can laugh at that. I am. That was really stupid. But honest to God, I looked all over this thing for a switch, and I couldn't find it. And there it is. So I've got to... I should either disable it so that when you plug it in it works, or actually paint or do something on the back here to show where the switch is. Alright, well, thanks for watching. It wasn't very long, so that means hopefully you stayed to the end and laughed at it. And I'm going to continue on and put that back together. I think that's how it goes. Got a little notch on it, so it can't go that way. And then it's kind of blown up a little over the years. It doesn't quite fit. But surprisingly, those 3 units are still there. Like, share, dislike, comment, subscribe if you want, I guess. It'll probably be 10 years before I get enough people to make a difference. But hopefully you enjoyed that detour I just took. And, have a good rest of your day.